to Restored by Polish. I'm Krista, and yeah, Sully's back there itching away. Sorry about that. So we're going to be talking about, I've been talking a little bit about how I've been wearing gel base coat and top coat as a sort of an overlay over my natural nail, and then wearing regular polish on top of it, and then using non-acetone remover just to swap out between my manis. And then I redo the gel polish when it starts to grow out, or if it seems to go bad or whatever. Sometimes it'll I might get a little snag or something on it, or I might break a nail like I did. I broke a nail last week, and so I had to file down this one pretty low. But I do think I'm liking wearing the gel polish because it makes my nails stronger, and I feel like it's easier to paint my nails because it makes them a little higher up on my nail beds. I have really deep nail beds, so I've been enjoying that. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to watch me take off my nail polish and see how shiny my nails are underneath my mani that I've been wearing for several days now, and then maybe do some painting on top of it so you can kind of see what that looks like, and go from there. See how you guys like that. So let's get the camera turned around. Okay, so we're gonna take off this polish. This I've been wearing for the last few days, and I really love it, and I forgot how much I love it. This is Camden Town by A. England. They make the best linear holographics, and this is just so perfect for fall. I just love the look of it. I always have this problem where it starts to dull a little bit, so I don't know if it's the lotion that I use or just from taking hot baths or whatever. So that's usually why I end up liking taking my nail polish off early, because I like my nails to be shiny. So I, end up taking it off probably earlier than it needs to be, because actually this has been on for several days and it's been doing fine. I am wearing my Dazzle Dry base coat on top of the gel layer, and then also the Dazzle Dry top coat on top of it, so that does seem to help keep the nail polish on. But I wanted to show you how this looks just taking it off. So I'm going to be using my Beauty Secrets non-acetone polish remover, and just some cotton balls that I ripped up a little bit, because sometimes I think they're too big when we're doing this. So I'm not too worried about it not coming off, because it's just a linear holographic, so it's not like there's glitter and a whole lot of scrubbing that's going to need to happen. So I just take that off, and you can see that underneath it's shiny. The darker color is a little bit harder to get off. I hurt my cuticle the other day, and so I've got like a little scab there, so I'm sorry about that. When I take off nail polish, I try and just kind of do a rudimentary taking it off. Normally, if it's got glitter, I use my soak off little clippies, but since this is coming off really easily, I'm just using the cotton ball. But I do it kind of rudimentary here, and then I'll go back over it with a cleaner one in a second and kind of clean it up. I just want to get the majority of it off of there, although this is getting pretty saturated, so we might have to switch here in a second. Let's see, that's pretty brown. I almost feel like I want to put this one right back on, just because I really loved it so much wearing that. So I've been wearing a lot of neutrally browns and like creams, taupes, those kind of colors, and so I'm leaning towards wearing something a little brighter, or at least in a different color group category, since I've been doing so much of these browns and taupes. Although for me, because I'm such a seasonal wearer, I don't wear a lot of browns. I mean, this is the only time of year I wear brown. I'm not going to wear brown any other time of year. So I feel like if I'm going to do it, now's the time to do it. But at least need to do a palette cleanser with something different. So I'm gonna try one that I've been on the fence about for a long time, ever since I got it. Nurse Jackie, if you're out there watching, she's the one that kind of convinced me to get this one in PPU, and I'm not really sure that I love it. We're gonna do this one from Cadillacer, which is called Let It Glow. Yes, it's been sitting here since November. So it's been 2 years it's been sitting in my collection, and I haven't worn it because I've been afraid of it. It's supposed to be, I think it was one that they did for like the holidays, and I just don't see it as a holiday polish. But it definitely has some warmer stuff that I could wear it for fall, I think. I think it's more fall than I would say holiday December wearing. So see, look how nice this came out. Now I will say this non-acetone Beauty Secrets nail polish remover is amazing. I mean, it's great. So I feel like it does take a little bit of the gel off with it, so I can't do it too many times without having to just redo the gel altogether. Like you can tell this one's starting to, it's a little bit tacky. So I don't know. I mean, it's supposed to be non-acetone, but I don't know what else they put in it because it seems like it takes off some of the gel there. So, but for the most part, I would say that my nails are still have that gel on there. Enough where I think I can get away with doing one more mani before I have to change the entire gel polish. So, all right, I'm gonna go wash my hands real quick and we'll come back. So my hands are washed and I kind of, filed what I needed to file. So I do find that I can file even with the gel base and top coat on there, that I can still file my nails down. I'm trying to get this one to catch up that I broke the other day, or last week I should say. This hand is pretty much all the right size, I think. I don't know, I have some nails that grow faster than others. Does that happen to other people? Am I the only one that's crazy like that? Okay, so I just warmed up my Dazzle Dry base coat so that it's nice and clear. We've talked about that before. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm only gonna do one coat of base coat on top of my gel here, just to make sure that the polish adheres to the gel top coat. So anyway, so what are we gonna chit chat about today? I've been, of course, watching all my true crime stuff. I just got done with the Delphi case, Delphi, Indiana, Richard Allen, the murders of Abby and Libby, the little girls that were killed in a park when they were there walking. Can't say I feel super great about his conviction. I don't know. I feel like there wasn't really a case that I felt solid about on that one, and I question whether or not they have the right person, which is sad because I'm not really sure we got justice for those little girls, and it definitely makes me worry about what power our police can do to us, and the government in general can do to us without much say. And if you don't know anything about it, they actually held this guy. He was just supposed to be like in county jail, presumed innocent until proven guilty, and they actually ended up putting him in a prison for 13 months in solitary confinement. So, and then they tried to say that he confessed, which he went a little bit nuts being in solitary confinement for 13 months for something he had not been proven guilty of yet. And so I just questioned his confession. So that's where I stand on that one. And on the other side of the thought of government is, trying, how about that, in that case, they were, maybe going after the person and not sure that I feel like not sure they had the right person. But then there's also cases like the Ellen Greenberg case. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that one, out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's an old case, 14 years old, and they still don't have it figured out yet. It's such a crazy case. So Ellen Greenberg was a young teacher, engaged, and her fiance came home to find her basically with knife wounds, and they originally ruled it was a homicide because she had about 20 different stab wounds to the back of her head and whatnot. And apparently the fiance has some connections, and he called his cousin first before he even called 911. And long story short, it ended up being ruled a suicide, or maybe I shouldn't say that, an unaliving, because I know YouTube doesn't like that word. So we'll say an unaliving, which was a little bit unbelievable when you look at how the knife wounds went in, and I think like 2 or 3 of the wounds were post-mortem, so after she actually had passed, but somehow it's been ruled, an unaliving. I don't know. I think recently they've come back and said it's undetermined now, but I've heard that a lot of the cover-up goes all the way up to like the governor there. So at any rate, I feel really bad for those parents. If you are at all, curious about this, I encourage you to look it up. I know that the parents are definitely trying to get petition signs, which they have. There's been a lot of people who signed petitions to get. They've never even investigated. They never even investigated this. They just went, oh, yep, it's an unaliving, and that's the end of that. So definitely both sides of the spectrum there, where you have going after somebody like in the Richard Allen case, and then how about just not even bothering to investigate? Those kind of things make me a little crazy. If you're not into true crime, I guess I'm sorry. That is definitely one of my loves. I will often just put my AirPods on and listen to trial cases as they're happening in real time. And I just am utterly fascinated by, law and how it all works. All right, what do you think? That's pretty, huh? I really like that. So I feel like with this gel on, I don't have nearly as much cleanup. I'm able to get it on there pretty evenly. And like I said, I do think it's because it raises up my nail higher than the nail bed, so I don't have as much difficulty trying to paint my nails there. One day I'm going to learn how to do this without having to flip my nail around, but I don't, even with it raised up, I'm still having to kind of flip my nail around to make sure I get it on there. Let's see, what else? Also been watching the Courtney Clenny shenanigans that have been going on there, and so if you're not familiar with that one, Courtney Clenny was a OnlyFans model and made tons and tons of money, but basically had a very volatile relationship with her boyfriend, and she has been arrested for his murder. I think they're saying 2nd-degree murder with that one. Lots of crazies going on in that case too. I think she's been trying to get bail, and I think the judge keeps denying it. So, what about you guys? Is there any cases that I should be looking at that I don't know about? I really, if I'm not doing true crime, then I'm listening to like an audiobook or something like that. But I have this weird, I feel like if I'm listening to an audiobook, that I might be missing out on something that's happening in real time, if that makes sense. I used to love to listen to like, oh, look what I just did. I just put my entire finger in that nail right there while I was doing that. That's what I get for trying to polish nails while I'm videoing and talking at the same time, huh? There. I used to watch like old cases, like there's a lot of true crime YouTubers that do like, cases that have happened years ago, and they tell the whole story. And I used to really enjoy that. And then I got into watching the trials, and now I don't really like to watch the other YouTubers doing those old cases, because I feel like they're not in real time. I guess I like the stuff that's happening like right now. Like I want to know what's happening right now. I want to hear more about the legalities of it and how they, what happens in the courtroom, I guess. So they call it Law Tube instead of YouTube. They call it Law Tube. All right, that's one coat on that hand. Let's do the other hand. What else is going on in life here? I'm still trying to furnish a house, and that's been a little bit of a challenge. You know, we moved from the house that we bought now is a lot smaller than the house that we had before, and that really changes things when you're buying furniture, because in the old house we had bigger rooms, and so we needed much bigger furniture, if that makes sense. And so it's hard to like get out of that mindset. Like my husband and I will look at furniture and we're like, oh, you know, I really like that. But then when I think about it being in that space, I'm like, well, that's not going to work because that space is way too small for that. So, so I guess trying to change into a more minimalistic decor and furniture, that's been the name of the game. And you know, our last house, when we had redone it, it was back in the whole rage of the, you know, farmhouse, modern farmhouse kind of thing. And this house is not that way. So we've definitely gone more just very simple, minimalistic, more, I don't want to say completely like mid-century modern, but definitely more minimalistic, simple, modern. I wouldn't say it's ultra modern, but just even things like light fixtures and yeah, I don't know. It's been a little bit of a challenge trying to change my mindset of how to pick things out that are going to go in this house. So, and of course, you know, we've got the holidays coming up, so the credit card's not very happy right now, and it's not going to get happier when we have to, you know, be doing that. So some stuff is probably going to have to take a back seat for a little while. Oh, I'm shaking today. My blood sugar is off probably. Let's fix it. The one nice thing about having shorter nails is it doesn't take me as long to do my nails when they're short. What am I thinking about this polish? Did anybody else get this one? I guess I gotta wait and see what it looks like on the second coat. At least it's not brown like I've been wearing. It is definitely a little bit different. I have to be really careful. I think I've talked about before with those kind of like teal colors, because what's going on over there? Sorry, got something messed up over there. Some teals are okay and other teals not so much. All right, I'm gonna let that dry, and we'll come back and do some second coats. That actually dried really fast, so let's see how we do. And I don't want to have to do more than 2 coats with having the gel overlay on there, or underlay, I don't know what you want to call it, because it does get a little bit too thick. I've noticed that last time when I stamped, that I was like, oh, I had way too many. I had like 11 layers of polish on. Actually, I really like that. What do you guys think? Since I got one rogue glitter over here that's making me crazy. There, I'll push you in there. Yeah, actually, I think I like it. I think it darkened up enough. I don't really like it on one coat for sure, so. Make sure you cap your edges, huh? let's see, what else can we talk about? Anything else going on in the polish world? I feel like I hate to say it, but I'm sort of, I mean, maybe it's because I haven't been able to film with Jacqueline for a while that I've been feeling kind of like bah humbug about filming and doing nails and even just polish in general. I feel like I don't know. I get a little overwhelmed with how much is in my collection, and then do I really need more? I don't know. Maybe it's just everything that's been going on this year that I think has me feeling that way. I definitely don't really have room for any more polishes, so maybe it's a good thing. I've slowed down greatly on my polish buying. And I also think part of it too is that they're, you know, it's hard to come up with new polishes. Like, you kind of would really have to wow me for me to say, oh, that's something that like I really, really want. So yeah, I like that. That's pretty. All right, let's see this side. Although I do find that my, tastes change. So, I might just be like really into like a certain color category for a while, or a certain finish that I have to have a whole bunch of those in. The one thing I really am struggling with is the magnetics. I really need to steel myself for when I do a magnetic, just because I feel like it takes so long. And I cannot master the whole velvet effect thing. Maybe I need to buy that little doohickey thing that they have at Polish Pickup, where you can do the velvet effect easily. I'm sorry, I am shaking. I think my blood sugar is really, really off right at the moment. I like when Cadillac does these because they don't overwhelm you with all the glitters. I feel like you get just a little smattering. Still using my wood stick instead of a cleanup brush. I have so many cleanup brushes, and for whatever reason I just always go back to the wood stick. I think it's because I need more pressure when I do it. And I feel like, and also because the cleanup brushes aren't like stiff enough, like they tend to spread. And then it gets on my skin and, makes me not happy. Sometimes I use them. I don't know why, I'm just definitely shaking. Well, I do know why. I think there's definitely something going on with blood sugar issues. Here comes my little health thing, but when I had pancreatitis the first time, it actually was so bad that it, like, part of my pancreas died. So it was like necrotic. And so my doctor thinks that that doesn't heal, so you can't grow back your pancreas, and so they think that my pancreas might not be making insulin like it should. So it's more like, she kind of explained it like it's more like type, you could be at risk for like sort of like it's called type 3C diabetes. Have anybody ever heard of that? I don't have that, but she thinks that could happen to me because my pancreas is definitely damaged. So it's more like type 1 diabetes, whereas, in type 1 diabetes, you just don't produce insulin. In type 2 diabetes, you produce insulin, but your body's just resistant to it. Type 3C is you don't produce insulin, but it's due to injury or disease to the pancreas, whereas in type 1, it's autoimmune. It's an autoimmune issue. So anyway, we're keeping an eye on it. We're going to see what happens, but I can tell that's probably why I'm a little bit shaky, because I've noticed of last few months that I'm not regulating very well after I eat or if I have any, and those kind of things. So, all right, what do you think? Oops, I feel like I need to fix that little area right here a little bit. Oh, I hit it. I feel like I missed the little. It's always the one nice thing about indie polishes is that you can usually touch things up. Oh, look at that, it doesn't want to even go on it. What the heck? Whereas like with a cream polish, if you try and touch up, it's like, ugh, it's harder. I feel like they're harder to fix. I feel like when you have like lots of stuff in your polish, you can fix. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry for a second and we'll come back and do top coat. All right, I'm gonna do a top coat really fast here. Are you guys doing anything for Black Friday shopping? Curious about that as far as nail polish goes. I know that they sent out the list about it, you know. It is a fun time to get polished, that's for sure. I saw the Bee's Knees one on Caitlin Swatches, I think it was, and they look really pretty. I usually do kind of like, I don't know, one of my favorite ones. I do more like the off brands when it comes to Black Friday. I don't know why, not off brands, but like not as major ones. Like I've done Alchemy in the past, although they're pretty major too. Or like ILMP or something like that for Black Friday. I probably am not going to do it this year. Like I said, I'm kind of, I don't want to say if I'm in a funk, but I definitely am feeling like I have enough polish to work with at the moment. I did, you know, I started my wish list for Christmas. My husband always asks for, and I did put on some more of this, the Dazzle Dry base coat and top coat, because I do enjoy it. I do like that. And then I also put on some more base coat and top coat for the gel polish. So I did do that. And I think I also put on there, this is getting, thinking ahead a little bit, that I put on, like, you know, those things that Jacqueline and I always use, the ones that, well, she uses it for her business, which are those nail swatch stands that have like where you can pop off the little nail swatches. And the reason I want them for myself is because sometimes I want to like do nail art with you guys, but not necessarily like on my nails. I just want to kind of do it like on and it's really hard to do that like on a swatch wheel, because you know, you can't get around the whole nail on a swatch wheel. So those are my nail items that are on my wish list at this point. Not really any colored polishes, so. All right, I'm always a little messier with my top coat, I guess because I can be. Well, let me know what you think. I know I had a couple of people reach out to me and say that they have always done the gel overlay on their nails before they put regular polish on, which was good. I've asked questions, got some feedback on it. So yeah, I've been enjoying it. What do you think about this polish? Let me know. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you in our next video. Bye.